Hey Daniel. How's it going, mate? Sorry I'm late there. Just trying to... Since my computer crashed, I need to sort everything out. It's all been a bit frustrating, but it's... I think it's working fine now. Or it should be at least. So we'll see how it goes. Now, how are you, Daniel? And Saidan? How's it going, Saidan? Yeah, the computer was very annoying, but I think we've sorted it out now. How's my audio sounding? Is it okay? Not too quiet. Hey Trondix, how you doing, mate? Good to have you here. Good to have you all here. How are you all? What have you been up to? Anything particularly busy? Today we are drawing a little Daddy Longlegs boy. This might be a stupid question, but do you guys have Daddy Longlegs in your countries? I don't know if Daddy Longlegs is just a very Anglo name. It does sound very Anglo. I kind of want to make this guy like super dramatic. We're gonna make him very much a long boy. But he's supposed to be like kind of a hero, so we might make him look kind of cool, like an insect warrior, because we haven't had really many insect warriors yet. Hey Riffy, how are you? Good morning. Anyone been up to any projects this week? Anything cool or interesting? The one we're going with, because there's a few names for Daddy Longlegs apparently: cellar spiders, harvestmen, and crane flies, and we're going to go for crane fly. Because they're cool little dudes. Very annoying, but oh, I don't have. Just realised I haven't installed PureRef. Okay, well, we're just going to have to deal with that, I guess. Crane flies have these very weird little faces. They do look a bit like mozzies. We're going to ignore that. Because he's going to be a proper warrior. How many legs do they have? I guess it's an insect, so it should be 6, sorry. So we'll do a quick sketch first. The plan is to have him as a like a bunch of weapons. There's lots of weapons. There's lots of cool. Might change this into like a. Actually, I'm going to change this. Some kind of halberd. So you haven't had enough halberds in this setting yet. I have Daddy and Mummy Longlegs here, harvestmen and cellar spiders. Because in England, I think it is mostly the crane flies that we refer to as daddy long legs. But I think we do have harvestmen as well, and cellar spiders. Make classifications for the different body plans of legionnaires, and also something special. Interesting. I like your legionnaires. I think I said to you, like in the Discord, they remind me of the what are they called? The dudes from June. Pure F failed me once, so I don't use it anymore. Gosh. But that was frustrating after getting a bunch of references. To be honest, I love it just because of the like versatility of just being able to like copy and paste directly into it and not worry about it too much. And the fact that it supports GIFs and stuff now, and I think video and a few other things like that. So it is very useful. But yeah, difficult to trust it again. It's already failed you once. Give this guy a funky hat. I'm going to give him an extra arm. Maybe to hold something like dramatic mace or something. In fact, let's do a morning star, because they're always cool. Morning stars are never not cool. Which king made them cool? And they've stayed cool. Crane flies scare me. Reminds me of huge mosquitoes. Yeah, they are pretty horrible, especially when they like fly into your face. It's a bit disturbing, isn't it? Meatloaf again, but I threw the recipe out the window. It tasted peak. Nice. Hey Solid, how's it going, mate? Good to have you here. Appreciate you visiting us from the Galapagos Islands. We are making a heroic daddy long legs. Try and make him nice and colourful, like a kind of bug knight. I will look at a halberd reference in a moment, but let's get the general image down first. It's a bit medieval. Actually, yeah, it's a bit medieval. I could do him as medieval, that's fine. I think in like the 17th century England, they still had like cavalrymen. So we'll just try and change his outfit a little bit so he suits the period. In fact, if we give him puffy trousers, that'll help us sell the period costume. In fact, if we move this morning star up a little bit. That's going to be a general image. It's kind of a cool pose. And then we'll start to work in some details. So busy with my project and school and stuff recently, it's tiring. Yeah, it's difficult when you haven't got much of a opportunity to make a break, right? Solid, good to catch the stream. Well, I appreciate you being here. You got any projects on the go, Solid? Or any of you guys? Riffy, Fallen, Sidon, Throndix? Any you guys working on anything in particular? Daniel? This guy's some long sleeves. And he's supposed to be like a warrior for a dragon. I can't remember what the what did they say on the YouTube comment? Excuse me. Let's have a look. Oh, I'll just share that. Actually, we're streaming. Stream on. So they said, Dexter, the Daddy Longlegs, a vigilante set to rid the world of evil by slowly slicing them apart and feeding them to their dragon lord. Interesting. We're going to move this arm again because we don't want to make it look like it's coming out of that sleeve. Figure that out afterwards. We'll get the like established look going. We'll give him like a little cloak thing, a secondary cloak. And his arm is going to be coming up through that cloak. It's looking a bit messy at the moment, but it'll come together, I'm sure. So we'll start to push all this together. Try. One thing I liked with the Taurus, what's his name? Taurus the Bison Archer, is I think the patterns were pretty cool. It's like a good way to good addition, a good easy addition to a character. So I might try and do some patterns with this dude. Background. Let's find a halberd. 17th century. That's a cool one. Halberds are such scary devices because there's just no way to get close to them, right? I guess that's the purpose. Area denial. But still. intimidating. Kind of expands into the guard. I think, to be honest, I think the halberd head should be smaller. Otherwise it'd be super heavy. Bit more realistic. That's too thick. Too thick. There we go. Oops. Oh, missed lots of comments. Let me have a look through these. Finishing the drawing as we speak. I'm also working on Introduction to Evolution Energy in my setting and what the monsters use it for. Hell yeah. Is that the flying creature? The one from Monster Hunter? Ooh, Evolution Energy and monsters. That sounds wicked. I agree. Bracken, what do you think your favourite character from this series is so far? Great question. Let's have a look. I'm not sure, to be honest. They're also different. If I'm honest, I wasn't super happy with Josh, the Consumer of Worlds, afterwards. I think it was a good prompt. I think I wasn't super happy with the drawing. I kind of like all of them. I like the cigar smoking toad. I can't remember his name, because I've actually got an idea for him for a story, and I think it came out quite well. I love the elephant, because that one was like a fun troll to draw, and I don't draw that many trolls that often. I'm going to draw some more trolls in a future video. I like all of them, to be honest, except the first one. In fact, I think that was Frondix who did the first one. Like I said, I liked the prompt. I think I wasn't super happy with the end result, to be honest. It looks a bit like stylized. I really liked the most recent one, Hera the Hellbender, even though I didn't do the right animal. I'm quite happy with how it came out. I like Nessie, because that was a fun one to draw. I like Taurus. I like all of them. If I had to pick, I think I would pick the Toad, because the Toad was a fun one to draw and it was just a bit different. I think that'd be my favourite. How about you guys? Which is in your favourite so far? Okay, let me read through your side then. You have Corpo Rights. Sounds very cyberpunk, Sidon. British swimming around. Using board in actions. Oh, Sidon, how far are you with the Red Rising series? Did you get past book 1? I remember you finished book 1 really quickly. Agreed. I think halberds are one of the coolest weapons there is. I completely agree. Halberds are my favourite weapon. Me too. Yeah. Morning Stars are up there for me too. I think there's so many really cool weapons. And it's funny because how small like actual halberds heads were, but they're so intimidating and just so dangerous, and that they were just used for so long. I think they made spears redundant. No, they didn't make them redundant. They made swords much more difficult to use. And then I think the only thing that stopped them from being used was the like implementation of guns, right? but they're very cool weapons, especially because all of it is a stick with a big sharp piece of metal on the end. So I imagine it was like not too difficult to like mass produce. Morning stars are up there for me too. Those medical weapons. Yeah, just very spiky and cool, right? And the Witch King made them cool. The Toad is a really fun one. My favourite has to be Taurus. I like Taurus as well. I think Taurus was a fun one to draw, and I was quite happy with the result. And I quite liked the implementation of like an actual Native American weapon and the patterns and everything. So I think after I'd done Josh, the Destroyer of Worlds, I wasn't sure about the series, and then I did Taurus, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm enjoying this. This is cool. It's been a nice one to do on stream actually, because it's like it's something I can finish in 2 hours. Maybe I like just keep up with like do a little bit extra after the stream, but for the most part, I think I'm able to finish it by the end of the stream, which is nice. Hell yeah, Halberd mention. Everyone's favorite weapon. Have any of you guys played Half Sword yet? The early access. The halberds in that are very fun. Or they're like pole axes that they use. So not quite halberds. I'm waiting a bit before getting to book 2. Honestly, I think book 2 might be the best book in the whole series. Not to hype it up too much, but book 3 as well is very, very good. And 4, and 5, and 6. But I think book 2 might be the best one. Fallen. Okay, finally done with this drawing of the silhouette of the thing and the mechanics of how the twin tails work. Yeah. It was longer pole arms that made them more or less relevant. So I always thought longer pole arms was like, oh, I suppose they did use them in like with that muskets around. Yeah, you're right actually, because they had like the spear formations for a long time, didn't they? From like Alexander right up to up to muskets and stuff. Sorry, I don't know if any of you have had Iron Brew. It's a very British thing, but I'm drinking at the moment, so sorry for all the burps. Bard, could you explain the concept of the guy drawing? Yeah. So this is so the what was the prompt? The prompt was Dex to the Daddy Longlegs, a vigilante set to rid the world of evil by slowly slicing them apart and feeding them to their Dragon Lord. So he's going to be a kind of ancient knight, and so he still uses like a lot of kind of outdated weapons. I mean, I think everyone kind of does in the setting, but he's going to be a kind of like badass warrior. And so I'm doing him with a bunch of like different weapons, but I want to do a bunch of patterns on him as well because I want him to look cool. So he essentially just roams the countryside as a kind of hedge knight. So he works in service of his god. I need to think of which god he's going to serve. But he he's a good boy. He's not a bad boy, so he helps people as he can. But any injustice is ended swiftly. He's gonna be a bit like a paladin type character. Like I said, I want him to have like essentially a bunch of different weapons, and let's try and put this arm in like a suitable place. So I don't really want it like hanging out of that sleeve. If I bring it along here, put a bend in it. Actually, he needs his sleeves as well. There you go. That's a bit too small now. A bit puny. Block this off. We'll come back to that Morning Star. I'm still not sure about that arm, but... Okay, so for patterns, what are we thinking of? Someone decided to make me a single piece of art piece for free. Nice. Who's doing it for you? I think it's cool how, even though he's based on a traditionally scary animal, he's still a paladin, a good knight. That's cool to see. I agree. Yeah, I like the kind of scary hero character, like Geralt. Is it Geralt? What's his name? Geralt of Riviera, the Witcher. I said his name wrong. Let's give him a few fingers. Much bigger hands. Nicer boots. I even try and give him some chainmail or something. Right. Let's get some more references. That's cool to do. So we give him like the kind of cloak that hangs over. What we'll do is we'll give it some little like jester wings. And we'll do some like obscenely bright colours. So we'll do them like blue and yellow. It's very night colours. Very Bretonian. Pattern. Okay, we can figure this out. If I do yellow square. If I do a blue square. Move a section. And then if I just take the middle. That's not quite right. doing it. Probably a more efficient way, but that works. This is just a concept. We'll see if it works. He might just end up looking like a little silly boy, but we want him to look very, very knightly. We also want him to have armor and stuff, so what we might do is give him like a bunch of chainmail or something. I love the Daddy Longlegs protector idea. I agree. I think it's like a cool concept. Don't want to badge, but do you have any plans for the future world building podcast episode? So, essentially, I don't know if you saw it on the Discord, Solid. Essentially, my computer crashed on Monday, and I lost a lot of data. And unfortunately, one of the things I lost was the podcast episode that I had edited. So I still have the interview, so that's fine. But essentially, I just need to start again, which is very frustrating. I've essentially just lost all of the editing I had done before. And so now I'm just down to, I just have to basically start again. Excuse me. So sorry, to answer your question, yes. I'm, like I said, I'm editing an episode right now. I'm recording an episode on Sunday, a new one. And then I've got another one booked to be recorded very soon. But this has kind of been a bit of a setback. One of the big problems with my computer crashing, is essentially for all of my editing software, I had loads of presets, so I could edit videos quite fast, and I've lost all of them. Even with this like stream software that I'm using, I had presets for that as well, and so today when I had some free time and last night I had to basically redo all of my presets for my editing software as well. So it's been a bit of a nightmare, if I'm honest. I went to bed last night and I was tempted to even cancel the stream because I was so annoyed and that I just had to basically restart everything. But I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh no, I want to draw, and I haven't seen you guys, I haven't spoken to you guys in a while, so I was like, oh, I'll definitely do the stream. But yeah. It's annoying. I mean, it's my own fault. I should have backed up my data. But c'est la vie. So, sorry. Yeah, that's a long way to answer the question. Yes, there's another podcast episode coming. But it's probably... I'll hope to have it released next week. It was supposed to be released, like, this week. But it's probably going to end up being next week now. Right, I like the guy's pointy hat, but the problem is I want him to have a helmet, so we're going to scrap that. And maybe just do like one of these like round helmets. So like round helmets. At least we can do it kind of like a shine on it. Mr. Way, the ancient beast requires a trip to the wilds. You talk the talk. Thanks for dropping in, Fullen. We'll see you in the Discord later. Actually, that's no good. Sorry to hear that. Yeah. Jump into the Discord. Always happy to have new people in there. But yeah, a bit frustrating, but I'm trying to get with the mentality of I just need to get over it. You know, it's a lesson I've learned, and it's not going to happen again because I'm going to back up all my data. But like I said, the podcast episode will hopefully be out before the end of February. I really wanted to do one per month, especially because I'm asking other people to sit down for these recording sessions, and they're taking time out of their day to record episodes with me. So I need to make sure that they don't take too long to come out. So the time frame should work quite well because I'm gonna release this episode hopefully next week, and then the next episode will be recorded, so I'll have plenty of time to edit before the end of March, and then I'm going to also record the next one hopefully in the next few weeks, and that should be out in April. So should work out quite well hopefully. But the next episode is very interesting as well. It's interesting. It's very cool to see, like two content creators, and they're like different perspectives and different tips and advice and things like that. I think you guys will really appreciate the like Cryptic Matt's first episode was really interesting. And I think the next one as well also has like interesting stuff, but from like a different perspective, which is cool.
Every core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
What's going on here? This needs to be blue as well. Oops. Let's make a much bigger one. Probably an easy way to make these patterns, but this is working, so we'll stick with it. Okay, right, so this should work. Let's just duplicate this. With those backups. If we put clipping mask here, in fact, if we separate, let's try again. If we separate this, paint a bit more of that in. Some more of it should show up. little dude. Learned a better way to write your book. How are you going to do that? Said then. Hey Laura, thanks for dropping in. Good to have you here, mate. Been loving the new episodes. You've been cranking them out. That's very good. Have you been preparing them in advance? Or you're able to do them quite quickly? Sometimes I wish you could do an episode with yourself. Love to hear about my favourite creators' work and techniques and stuff. I'm tempted to. I think it'd be quite like a fun little project to kind of explain my process and some other ideas. To be honest, I'm so I think I've said a few times I'm planning on making this into a TTRPG eventually. I want it to be like a role-playing game that people can actually play and sit down. A bit like how Eternal Ruins is doing his campaign at the moment. So one thing I was tempted to do actually was start to create some episodes about the process of doing it. So it would go into kind of the backlog or the lore and things like that about sorry, my brain's not working. About the acceleration, but also to talk about the TTRPG. So I'm thinking about doing a few different kind of TV episodes, a few new videos, because what I would like to do eventually is to have one lore video per month, one podcast episode, one devlog for the TTRPG, and then I'd have room for something else. I'm not sure what. So that's the idea. Yeah, I think it could be good to do. It'd be good for the channel. It'd be kind of fun to make and to be able to like chat a bit more about the TTRPG and my ideas for that. And I think it would be a good addition. That would be quite interesting and would provide a lot of information. So we'll see. Yeah. This guy's looking a bit messy, but we'll be there eventually. When I got deeper understanding of my own character, I intend to just work on the major events of the story, just start stitching them together later. That's a good way to do it. So it'd be interesting, Sadan, if you did like a lore book, because then you wouldn't have to tie everything in together like a linear story. You could just have the major events and the factions and things like that. It'd be like a interesting way to like present your story in general. Right, we're gonna give this guy I'm not sure what it's called, like a tilt shield or whatever it's called. I need to put his dragon's sigil on there. I'm still not sure which dragon he represents. Grey thing. coming together bit by bit. I'm not sure about the colours. I think those darks are a bit too dark. Might give him some more armour actually. Like he's not armoured enough. Right, I'm going to get rid of these long sleeves. Start giving him a bit more plate. We'll do it as a separate layer just in case we don't like it. There you go, a bit more dramatic already. Where's that arm going? That arm should be coming up here. Quite like that. It's a bit more dramatic, and we'll be able to show off a bit more like shiny metal type thing. I'm still not sure about this arm in the background. We're gonna have to figure out a way to make that pop a bit more. What we'll do is we'll do. Oops. This should be above. And this one should be below. His face looks like. It's got a very yellow face, like orange yellow. And then very green eyes. It's coming together slowly. Cool, it wasn't aware it was planned to be a TTRPG. That's really awesome. Yeah, to be honest, it's been an objective for a while now. If I'm honest, I've tried and failed to design many like little games and things like that in the past. It's never really worked out for multiple reasons, but I feel like this is probably the best opportunity to do something like that. So I think it could be just a fun project, and again it would involve this project, and it would be a good way to get it into the hands of people, because if people could actually play the game, I think that'd be quite fun, and actually jump into the world and enjoy it. And I got loads of I think quite unique ideas for it, and a lot of game mechanics that I've kind of taken from the games I really like. So that's a big reason why I want to do the I wanted to show it in like a devlog is because I think it could be quite an interesting thing to see. You know, see how it's like made and the process we kind of go through to build it and everything. So yeah, it could be a fun thing to do. And kind of freestyling it here. Do need a little scabbard for the sword. Some belts. You can see the belts a bit more clearly. Then we can do some belts on the actual armor as well, but I'll come back to that. This guy's coming together quite well. That's where most of the 300 pages going. Oh wow. It's looking great so far, I must say. Thanks, Laura. Current plans on how to sell them is just one giant book joining together each faction lore. Fallen is still number 1. I propose a shield. I don't know how to make them with help with one arm, but that would make sense. A shield would be useful. I mean, we could get rid of the... If we just get rid of the Morning Star and give him a shield instead, how would that look? We're just testing it here. This isn't like a confirmed thing. What do you guys think? Maybe do that as a bit. Do you think that's a better silhouette? That or the Morning Star? I kind of like the shield. I think the shield's a good shout, Throndix. Could move the sword to the other hand and put the shield on the side so he sees Patron on the front shield. Good shout, Lorat. That's a very good shout. Yeah, I think you're right. Good idea, Lorat. Okay. Let's do exactly that. Right, let's grab our sword. Where's our sword? Right, let's get rid of that. Get rid of our Morning Star. I should have put this as a separate layer, that's fine. Let's grab our sword. I like the shape of the sword, so I'm just being lazy. I'm just going to move it across. Get rid of some of that. What's going on with this hand over here? Oops. And that as well. Okay, we'll come back to the sword in a moment. We'll figure out the shield. 'Cause I quite like the position of the leg. So we need to find a way to fit the shield in. Maybe if we... let me Google. Let me Pinterest. Some Pinterest ideas. It's a cool way to do it. So it's kind of like he's holding the shield like this. So it's kind of off to one side. So it's like a kite shield. A bit like that. So you can still see his hand underneath. And then what we can do is we can do a cool emblem. I don't know if you guys use... Oh, bugger. I don't know if you guys use Procreate. One thing I've found that's quite useful with Procreate is... if you want to do any kind of symmetry... We'll come back to that after. If you ever want to do any kind of symmetry, it's good to just block everything out if you haven't done already, and then do the symmetry above that, and then it kind of works out. So what? Right, I need some ideas for what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna have to hop off, but had a great blast. Had a blast, great stream, and good to meet y'all. Thanks for dropping in, Solid. Appreciate you being here, mate. Not just a hat rack, my friend. Could do a Taj shield, also known as a round shield. Taj shield. That's cool. Ah, and yeah, like a Taj, like a Celtic one, right? I like that, but it's, I think you're right with the emblem on the front, and I think a lot of those were like studded, right? Yeah, welcome back, Fallen. Good to have you here. Right, I need some ideas for dragon. You guys shoot some ideas, and then we'll do a vote. What should we say? What dragon would a paladin represent? What's a good animal? Because apparently this guy like attacks people, kills them, and then feeds them to his dragon. That was what the prompt said. It's a dragon patron for the Nightfellow you're drawing. Yeah, so this will be his patron dragon essentially. So we need to think of like a cool dragon which would represent like protection for the weak. We already have like the kind rodent. But that's more about like charity rather than like defense of the weak. So oops. Trying to think of like an animal that defends other, maybe like a goose or something. Because like geese are like often used as guard dogs. Or let's Google. Let's have a look. Which animals defend other animals? livestock guardians like llamas, donkeys, and specific dog breeds. Donkey would be a cool one. Geese, yeah, geese are common. But a spider dragon, since the guy is an invertebrate. Giant beetle, rhino beetle or a stag beetle. Human dragon, geese are solid. Duck dragon would be so funny. Goat. God, there's a lot of good ideas. Right. Let's draw a few. Let's go through a few ideas and then we'll see what works. So the first one we'll do. Let's try geese first. Let's draw a really dramatic shield shape. Okay. So we could do like it's a bit like a swan. That's fine. Something like that for the goose. What another one? Goat. So goat, we could do something like. What do British goats look like? British goat. British goat's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It's got like the horns of defense. What's the other one idea? Remember the prompt says feed to the dragon, so it needs to be a carnivore or omnivore. Question about, do you not stream on Twitch anymore? Nah, to be honest, I didn't get much of a reception on Twitch, and I'm not streaming to be a big streamer, if that makes sense. I'm streaming because I feel like it's a good way for me to draw, and it's cool to like interact with you guys as well. So Twitch feels a bit unnecessary. So just streaming on YouTube seems fine for now. From said feed to the dragon, so can't you omnivore? But so I mean, geese are omnivores. I think they're opportunistic omnivores, right? They're generally herbivores, and goats eat everything. A wild boar, they're super protective with their young, and they're omnivores. Boar's a good idea, a very good idea. British boar. What do they look like? Let's have a look. Oops. Hell yeah, I like boar. Boar's a good idea. Right, we're going with boar. Sorry, Zidane. Human. I think the problem with humans is they don't like. There's not like a single like representation of them, whereas animals always have some. They like represent something, right? So I feel like a boar, or even like a goat or something, would represent like defense, like you said. I think boars are a good shout because they're known to be solid defensive animals, defending their young and everything. So yeah, very good shout. Who said that? Door. Fallen. Good shout. So quick with it. Thanks, man. I think I've spent so long developing this sketchy style that I think it's like the primary way I draw now. We do one tusk or two tusks. I think one tusk is fine. Maybe like a little tusk underneath. Do some symbology, so shield, sigil. Let's have a look at some sigils. Game of Thrones is a good example. I mean, Game of Thrones, maybe it's better to do like a proper sigil. Let's have a look. Boar sigil. Maybe do like the traditional boar sigil. Copying this one. Start good. Try and do it without copying. Like that. We can do even like a bit of a curl in the tusk. So it like represents like the tusk is not for attacking, it's like for defending, for knocking stuff over. Right, let's squash this face a bit. I'm not really liking this. We'll stretch out a bit more. Right, do his tusks again. Let's do normal spiky tusks. Doesn't really look like a boar. Hey, look. How's it going, mate? Nice art. Thanks, man. Hey, Riffy. How's it going? Boars are cute. Emblem, yes. Exactly right. I'm trying to do an emblem. I'm not doing a very good job, to be honest. Right. I think we need to do a bit more like symbology. So what we'll do is we'll do them as a kind of It was a triangle. If symbology is a word. In fact, it'd be good to see his mouth as well. Right. There we go. Something along those lines. Some of these other emblems have like a second tusk here. Let's do the same. Redo his beard. Not looking very good. Off topic, but I guess still on topic. I think Bin Turung would go so hard as a dragon in your world. Bin Turung. Oh, it's like the giant, like, yeah, bear cat thing. They are cool. Like a wise old mammal. Just lives in the forest. Give this like a thick outline. Too thick. Oops. Maybe something like that. That's fine. We are meant to see the whole pig's head, but do something along those lines. And then if we do, where's our thingy? Oops. Right, we'll redo our shield. Actually, looks like a shield. In fact, if we just Here we go. Sorry, very focused on this. Here we go. But yeah, Bearcat would go harder than saying. Yeah, I agree. A new Eternal Runes video just dropped. Yeah, I saw there was something about curses or something. I'll watch that. I'll also brush my teeth tonight. It looks a bit janky. Maybe if we do like a really opposing color, like red or something. What's a good color that goes with yellow and blue? That's fine. He could be called like the white boar or something. He just represents protecting people. Sure, that'll do for now. This will just be on his shield. Red slaps. Green also slaps. I like the red's looking not too bad. Boars and rats have to be my favorite animals. I think that's why all Swedes of my world are like hybrids of pigs and rodents. I really like your rodents. You're like mole men creatures. What they call naked mole rat creatures. Apparently Trench Crusade dropped the ball again. What did they do? Blue for the boar, yellow for the shield. Let's give that a go. I quite like that actually. This is just like a little draw through. Let's try the opposite. So I'll just copy that again actually. So do yellow for the boar. We'll do blue for the shield. What do you guys think? Okay, right, we've got three options. We've got yellow for the boar, blue for the shield, blue for the boar, yellow for the shield, or white boar on checkered flag. Red and green looks nice. Like red and green on like the flag in the background. Is that what you mean? Kind of like in the white board, to be honest. Not sure. Right. Should we do a vote? I feel like votes are a good way for me not to have to make any decisions. Yellow is such a prominent and bright colour, while the boar is blue. It stands out against the bright background. Is a good way. I really like the idea of a white old boar dragon. Yeah, I think the white's speaking to me a little bit. Really, rarely does it hail where everyone else is. Hail is as in when chunk size falls. Okay. It hails from time to time in the UK. I haven't seen hail in a while actually. Oops. If I stretch this boy a little bit, quite like that actually. That looks better immediately. Kind of digging that. I know what you're saying, Rat, about the prominent colours. I'm kind of digging that. I think it's like almost like a Japanese demon, like a Thai demon or something, right? Like from a distance. That's out as well. Right. Appreciate everyone's input. I think we're going to stick with this one. I think that looks good. Okay. Back to our drawing. Okay, so let's draw the shield. I think we're going with the kite shield as well. Not kite shield. What am I talking about? What's the one? Shield. I wonder if they had like 17th century shields. I did have that kind of the one you mentioned, Rat, before. 17th century. Maybe just like a kind of rounded one. We'll do him like kind of holding it upwards. We want it to be. We obviously want the sigil to be nice and prominent. Shape. Let's do this bright color. It's good having you guys here because I wouldn't have thought of the shield or the boar. My brain trust. Appreciate the help. Okay. Let's do this. Ah! Fucking hell. Oops. Thank God for undo. a silver band around it, so it looks a bit more realistic. Something like that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's do nice silver band. Pink band for the time being. There we go. And then nice. Shieldy boy. What do you guys think? Like Princess Mononoke, the big old boar in the woods. Yeah, I love Princess Mononoke. I've got the art book here on my shelf, I think. Hails yearly here, like a few days off. You seem to have very extreme weather in Canada, so there's so many good shield designs. You don't even have to go for one with like bolts or bumps on the front, as a lot of shields have cloth and or paint covering the front to show their nation's colours. Right, yeah, that's true. Are the seafaring people in your world? Then perhaps hail or praise a great moon jellyfish dragon. We've like talked about this a few times on stream, where it's been like different types of dragons potentially that would come from the sea, and I think there's so many like cool ideas that I would like to do some eventually. Again, it'll be something we'll get back to at some point in the future. Really good idea if I take this, just very lazy. Just very lazy. Flip. We can. Bit unnecessary, but that's fine. Nice. Okay. This has come together quite well. Looks very knightly, I think. Agreed. So many shield designs. I think there's so many classic UK animals that would slap as a dragon. A dragon blue whale would go hard, especially since they always protect other sea life from sharks and orca predation. Definitely see one becoming the sort of sea deity that people pray to on an open ocean. Oh, that would make for like a really cool short video of like, you know, like the Pacific Islanders or something who worship a whale dragon, or a bit like Avatar, I guess. You know, the second one with all the whale dudes. I'm super into whales. Okay, I'm liking this guy. He's looking pretty cool. What we need to do is do a bit of shadow on him. So we can start to see where everything is. It's a bit confusing trying to identify what is what. Okay, I've got an idea. If I cover these, if I do like, okay, if I do like ribbons coming off of these, what I can do is I can have them coming off of this one as well, and kind of understand that that's the left and the right one. Messy file. No, it doesn't work. We definitely need a better way to separate those two. Do you know what? Maybe if we do like a backlight, so we'll do like a light behind him. Maybe like what could be behind him? Fire's always a good idea. Okay, and then that kind of breaks it up a little bit. Let's run it from that side. So it should be there. Yeah, the Tolkien. Is that the Avatar one? Is it? Earthworm dragon for rich land minerals and good stability for mining underground, like a boon of protection against cave-ins. Great idea. I think that would be like a really interesting one to like create a kind of like civilization that's based around this, worm. A bit like Dune, I guess. That's a cool idea. It could even be like it's not actually a dragon, it's just a giant earthworm, but people worship it like a dragon because it's just this incredible creature. This guy. In fact, what we might do is we could put him like totally in shade, and then have him lit from the front, and then backlit. Have him like slightly lit from the front, and then just like a edge light just behind him. I think that would look quite dramatic. And again, it would like kind of break up his like back arm from his front arm. Get rid of a bunch of this mess. Do a bit of tidying up. Stick all this into a folder. And then what we're going to duplicate this. It's very dramatic. And then we're going to squash this together. And then we're going to select this. And then we're going to go on this one. And we're going to invert selection. And then we're going to erase all of these shadows that go to that. Cool. And then we can get rid of that. Very dramatic way of doing it, but seems to work. Right, okay. Nice. So what we'll do is we need to give him one of those back squares that we have on these characters. Oops. What time is it? Okay, still got about 20 minutes left. And just put something in the background. Click. Let's go in the middle. A little bit. Okay, right, and then we'll flatten his feet a little bit. Then we want that front light. We're going to darken this one, or at least desaturate it. Like I said, then we'll have a front light. I'll make this one maybe kind of like blue.
Every core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Right, I'm overcomplicating this, but we're going to do select this, invert. We'll get like a blue, nice blue hue. I'm going to spray it on all of this. A little bit unnecessary. Oh, bugger. Let's try that again. We kind of like an add a slight hue. And then if we select this, should be able to move. Did I do the wrong thing? I have no idea what I'm doing. Lost the plot there a little bit. Hey Crow, thanks for dropping in, mate. Good to see you. How are you? And you could finish the drawing of the last god of the Fae. I made a sketch of how it looks flying and the mechanics of how it uses tail. Nice. I think that's fine. We don't really need like that to be super strong. Just like a slight blue tint. Right, we do need to start messing with the metal colour. Where's our metal colour? Here it is. Okay. Right, metal. I'm not good at drawing metal, so let's give it a go. Use some real references. Help us here. AI modified images on bloody Pinterest. Oops. Okay, I've got a nice image here to help us with colouring. And then go with some blues. Going with some reflections. Doing some blue reflections as well. Looks a little bit confusing, doesn't it? I think that back arm is not really working. Alright, we'll worry about that in a second. Lightning slaps. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. We'll draw this guy's face in a little bit more detail as well. I think that's important. Maybe that's the problem. It's just a bit sketchy. Oops. What we could do with the magic button, the magic brush. That is light brush. In fact, it's better if we have it just here. Oops. An edge here as well. Oops. I'll do the shield in a minute. Oh, pop. Deal with some of these shadows. We don't need shadows. Where do we need them? I don't need them here. Oops. Do you know what I might do actually is I might be a little cheeky boy and I might just make this back arm like a bunch darker. If I just copy this. Oh yeah. Good job. Good job, me. Toot my own horn, but that seems to work quite well. It's like that's kind of clearly a sword, right? I think. In fact, let's just move this here. We'll get our light pen out. Bit too much. We need to. Where's our shield? bright highlights on this one. Too bright there. We can have this as a little bit reflective. In fact, what we could do is have this on his oops. Did I save that? I hope I did. I did. Okay, good. Sensible me. So we could do that on his like jousting shield thing as well. So proper representing. Then this has to go down here. I'll just put this in shadow. Don't forget about it. Forget about it. Do with a few scratches and stuff, I think, but it's coming together quite nicely. Very dramatic looking chap. I think it's the sheen on the lower armor holding the poleaxe. If you darken the sheen on the arm. You shall not pass. So the old knight before being shot 6 times with the revolver. Yeah, he's gonna get Indiana Jones. He's gonna get absolutely blasted. If the guy serves under a dragon or doesn't that make him a warlock by D&D standards? Well, I'd say more like a paladin because I guess he's more like bonk him on the head before using magic. Can't exactly smite people with it, yeah. Knight in the 1400s, yeah. Makes sense for the sword to be in that hard anyway. Too, because of the sheath scabbard being on the opposite hip, as he has unshifted. Yeah, I agree. I think you were right to swap it over. I think it's a good idea. I think we need to make this also a bit darker here behind the shield because we want the shield's not really standing out very well. Stand out a bit better if I just a little bit darker. What I might do is I might cheat and just give that a little bit of a sheen as well. Just on the edge. There you go. That kind of cuts it out, doesn't it? Okay, that kind of works. Right, the lower arm holding the thing. I think you're right. I think perhaps the black is. I think it's actually the black that's kind of blocking it off, right? It's like if we can just reduce that black a little bit. And do kind of what we just did with the shield, in fact. If we just add a little bit of mojo to that. It's not super realistic, but I feel like I think that arm stands out a bit more. What's going on up here? Have I undone something? What the hell? Ah, that's why. Okay, so this is supposed to be attached to here. There we go. That's better. Okay, we'll kind of reduce these a little bit. Right, let's work on his face a little bit. So we need that Daddy Longlegs face to come back out. Especially since dragons here tend to have religious revolvings around them. Designing is coming out great. Thanks, man. I think it looks quite cool, right? Again, in very like Bretonian colours. There you go. Throndix, we got a bit of French in there. If you're still here. I think I'm quite happy with him as well. Right, let's have a look at a crane fly face. Very freaky faces. Yeah, zoomed in image. Okay, that's a good one. That's good. Okay. So they have kind of like this round nose. They've got their little antenna, actually, which we haven't added back in. And they've got the big round eyes. And the nose actually kind of cuts off here. And they have two little feeler things that drop down. So I have to colour all of these. So what we'll do... God damn it. Okay. Right, I'm being lazy here and I'm just gonna... It's got little hairs as well. Where's his face? There it is. Oh, I don't like that. Right. Also won't be lazy, we'll just get rid of that. Do it again. So it needs to be above here. Oops. More prominent nose thingies. And then we'll black them up. We will, probably not a good way to say it, we'll outline them. Do his eyes as well at the same time. Do his eyes the same way we did the mosquito. Tiny little eyes. Oops. There you go. Not really noticeable, but makes a difference, I think. And for his little antenna things, them kind of yellow as well. Pop, pop, pop. What creature is this Bugman? He is Daddy Longlegs. Laura, you're from the UK, I think. Actually, I know you are. Just from your video, but yeah. So he's a Daddy Longlegs, but I think from what I found on Google, apparently there's multiple Daddy Longlegs. So this one specifically is a crane fly. Okay, I'll do some shadows on these as well. Oops. Where's it deleting? Oh, every time. That's so annoying. We want light pen, we want light brush. Oops. He's a cool boy. Liking him. Right, I think we can make a couple more changes. I think we can finish up there. It's come together quite well. This was a good group effort, I think, from all of us coming up with this dude. Let's do a bit of bronze on this one. Get rid of my light pen. I like that one. We like light brush. Perfect. Let's do it all the way up here. All right. What we'll do is we'll make him a bit dirtier, and then I think we'll finish up there. Do a bit of like a grime layer. underneath the shadows. Not liking that actually. Put that. Take the sheen off of this sword actually. It's a bit over dramatic. Where's that other sheet coming from? It's the problem with having so many layers. You don't know where anything is. Less dramatic in it. These buggers are notorious for flying into your face for no reason. Yeah, they bloody are as well. It's so annoying. I don't like killing any insects, but they're basically just trying to commit suicide every single time, and it's like you're desperate to not squash them. Yeah, but they're just like basically begging you to like slap them. Masochistic. A bit more of a point. Right, we'll give them a little undershadow as well. So we can just do it in this layer. Right, I might have to call Buggy Boy done there. I think he doesn't look too bad. Friends, I returned from getting some frozen treats. What treats did you get? Dragon of Judgment shall decide your destiny. Bound by destiny. I love this drama. They're the worst, especially because if you're on the loo, they have nowhere to go, but they're just like, I'm a fly in your face. Hella annoying. Absolutely. I agree. Right, what do you think, chaps? Maybe we can make the background a little bit more interesting, and then I think we're going to call it. Anything there? Nope. Okay. make it a bit reduced like that, so it doesn't block out too much. Do a little bit more on the edge. Oops, a bit too much there. Oop, what's that sound? Anyone else hear that? Was that like a Steam notification? I don't know what that was. So Destiny I should have used 8. Destiny works. You used it correctly. Fallen. Right. Sometimes I wish I had a partner in my world building. You should try and attract an artist to help you with drawing it. Like an artist friend or someone you know who likes drawing. I think they'd be interested in going through ideas and maybe drawing up some sketches. So I didn't. Love the clothes design, especially the cowboy-like helmet and the shield, of course. Got to go now, though. Have a good stream. Thanks, Riffy. Appreciate it. I'll try and jump into your stream tomorrow. Everyone remember that Riffy normally streams on Thursdays now. I think is your new time, right, Riffy? So we'll try and send people over there tomorrow when you get on. There's a Twitch notification. Oh, I didn't even know I was streaming on Twitch. Let me check. Twitch. Am I streaming right now? Maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, never mind. Right. Thanks for the ideas, guys. I really appreciate that. I think you guys made that. It improved on the design a lot. So the shield, the sword on the other side of the body, the boar. I think all of these were very solid ideas for sure. So I appreciate your guys' help in kind of designing this. And I think he's looking like a pretty cool dude. In fact, one more thing I might do just very quickly is I might just see how it looks if I just change the blah 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 the stick to nice brown color. Okay, I like that. That's nice. Maybe we'll add a little bit of grit to it. Oops. Okay, right. I'll stop before I just keep end up doing this all night. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate all your help for today. I think you guys really made this image a lot better. I really like how he came out. So what's his name again? His name is Dexter. Dexter the Daddy Longlegs, a vigilante. Rid the world of evil by slowly slicing them apart and feeding them to the dragon. So yeah, I think a boar would like to eat lots of different stuff, and I think it's good we remove the Morning Star because he slices stuff apart, he doesn't bash them. So that's a good way to represent it. What I might do actually, which I quite liked last time, is I might just remove this bit as it kind of steps outside of the zone. Ooh, voice breaking. Nice. If I kind of in front, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. We'll keep the one on top. Okay. Right. So I think we'll finish up there for today. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your help. Appreciate everything. And I will see you either next week or I will see you in the Discord. I think I'll probably try and post this in the next couple of days. Bloody hell. I've got to redo the presets I have for my name that character thing as well. It's so annoying. I'll figure that out. So I'll try and do that over the next couple of days. But we'll probably see this at the weekend. Right. Appreciate you guys as always, and I will absolutely see you in the Discord or another time. Let me just clean that up a little bit. Have a great week. Good luck with your projects, and I will see you. Right. Thank you, Crow. Thank you, Riffy. Thank you, Lorat. Thank you, Sidon. Thank you, Fallen. Thank you. Who else was in here? Thank you, Throndix. Thank you, Look. We also had Solid. Appreciate you being here, Solid. Anyone else? I think that was it. Right. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.